A little calmer. Not much. The trouble with having COPD and PTSD is that your COPD does not know nor acknowledge your PTSD. And your PTSD does not know or acknowledge your COPD. And because you cannot exercise anymore, well, there's a lot of things that happen. You can't shift weight, for a start. Keeps piling on. But also, there's a build-up of adrenaline. Now, I have always had a problem with too much adrenaline. Always. And no need to be prissy, is there? I used to get rid of it by a lot of very fast walking. A lot of very fast walking. That was when I lived in Southampton. The minute I got to Wales, I got sciatica, which did give me a limp, which meant that my walking became a lot slower, but I still did an awful lot of it, a hell of a lot of it, and I still enjoyed it very, very much, and I miss it terribly. The other thing I used to do was incredibly aerobic, incredibly energetic, disco dancing, and I could dance hour after hour after hour. People used to think I was on uppers, and I never was. Even the last time I went to a disco when I was 49 years old, I was out dancing 20-year-olds, and people were still saying, "Oh, what are you on, Sue?" Adrenaline. I was on adrenaline. And of course another way of getting rid of it is sex. Sex works quite well to get rid of adrenaline. If you're enjoying it and excited. Let's be perfectly blunt about it, it's a really good way of working it off. Well, all of those things are out anymore now. Can't even laugh really, because generally speaking that makes me cough and makes me breathless. Same with crying. You might as well be dead already. Because if you can't laugh and you can't cry, are you really human? I don't think so. And I suppose now I should be accused of self-pity, and I don't fucking care. It may well be true, but there's two sides to that. In the last 6 years, since the ruddy Tories got in, nobody has pity for anyone. Nobody has sympathy, nobody has compassion, nobody has empathy, it's all gone out the window. And then they expect you to have some for them. Well, I'm sorry, but it's drained away. 6 years, bang, bang, bang. 6 years. Pillar to post. People can't stress you out enough, they can't be nasty enough, they can't hurt you enough. They just have to keep going and going and going and threatening and threatening and threatening until you're dead. And I've had more threats today. For the sake of a fortnight. A fortnight. By a man whose ego means more to him than a human being's life. Every time I'm trying to make the most of the last of life, the last of my time in Wales, the last of my time with Danny, every time I try to do that, I get an email from this fucking shit. I'm not calmer, am I? Since March, my lungs have been bubbling like a cauldron. And they squeak, and they squelch, and it's a really strange and unpleasant sensation. And there's another one where after you've had your inhalers, you still feel like you can't breathe. And in fact, sometimes, some of the inhalers make it worse. And to call that an unpleasant sensation is the understatement of the decade, of the millennium. And when you haven't got all that, you've got back pain and rib pain. And Danny happened to pop one of my ribs again just a week or two ago. I actually felt it pop. And that makes the back pain worse. It just radiates up into the shoulder blade and everything else. Flank, everything. So then you can't lie down in bed. All over again. And then you have fucking idiots Fucking bastard, threatening you. I wouldn't really care if my landlord and landlady had to shift my corpse out of this place. It wouldn't bother me one iota. And what do they think is to threaten me with when I'm fucking well dying? And they think they're so clever.